Hello everyone and welcome to another review, and today is a big one. I really like this one. I'm so fucking excited, and really like this figure and this character. So on today's chopping block is Earthrise Starscream, and wow, I do have to say what the fuck, this is such a good design. Way better than this guy. I will compare these guys because they're the exact same character and they both have their strong suits, but I kind of like this guy's design more because it's more G1 and I'm a G1 fanboy. Air, I'm Airfield Commander Starscream. It sounds like the movie version. As always, before we actually get into the figure, we have to look at his box. And here is Earthrise Starscream's box. I do have something to say about this. I watched a couple of reviews with this guy, and none of them really said this. That's not Earthrise Starscream. That's Siege Starscream. You can clearly see it by the little pelvis region and his chest. That's not what they look like. Even the smoke stacks or the air intakes look like them, and how they go in a V shape. That's Siege Starscream. That is not Earthrise Starscream. And I know there's a whole full picture of all this with I think Double Dealer Megatron and all the other arts that I think are orange in Earthrise. But that's it for this artwork. We come around, you see his product shots, 30 steps. Goddamn, I come around. Doesn't feel like 30 steps. Earthrise art. And finally, we get to talk about the figure. And as always, we talk about sculpt. And hot damn, this is one of the epitome of G1 Starscream. As always, I'll put the picture up. And holy crap, look at this. It's so fucking good. As I calm down, I'll show you this. What the head sculpt looks like. No light piping, for some reason. Well, actually, I prefer the no light piping because it doesn't have just a big red clear thing on his back of his head. The high pit on his chest, as iconic as it is, isn't translucent. Coming down, you see that siege sculpting coming. The feet look good. The head looks good. Looks like Starscream. I did wish he was the silver face was gonna be a little bit darker because it would actually be just like G1 Starscream. And holy fuck, I am cooming. Oh god, I'm gonna coom. Oh god, I'm cooming. As for accessories, he has just his two Norways, and woo, take these off, and here we go. Here what the nose look like. I get the Siege Norways, and here they are. They look more like the Siege Norways look like more sniper rifles than like missiles. These look like missiles, and they can actually shoot a missile. This looks like a sniper rifle. And as for paint, this is where my excitement deepens. There is a big problem on the pelvis region where there's a lot of paint chips. This, if I move it up, you can see right here, it some reason gets off the peg it's on. I have to clip it back on. You can literally see where I put I bought a red Sharpie just to cover up where the paint was chipping. This is the only area that the paint chips because it really moves a lot. Also this area, but it really doesn't chip that much, and I don't care about that much as I care about this because this is on the front. I really wish they molded this out of red plastic instead of it being paint. I know a lot of people like it because it's paint, but it's gonna be more of a paint chipping area. I've been thinking about getting red glossy paint and just stripping this and, you know, painting it myself and coating the hell out of it with a protective paint cover. This whole red section, the glossiness, blah 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 blah, is a red paint. On his wings, that's red paint, white paint, and purple. On his legs, you see a blue. You come around, that's red paint, that's white paint, and that's very bland. But this back is not that bad. It's not as ugly as there are a lot of the Master Chief versions are. His whole head is painted. Why am I doing this? I can just zoom in. I'm a dum-dum. As you can see, his whole head is painted all around, even his face, even his eyes. They all come off with the gloss, all that glossiness. I'm afraid it's gonna go wear and tear, but so be careful with these guys. But from that, everything's really, really well. The joints are solid. Nothing here is loose at all. Solid ass joints. And as for posing, this guy has a good amount of articulation, and he can get him a shit ton of poses. It's just this is kind of just limited by your imagination, but with no hand articulation. Yeah. And as for articulation, he has a ball joint at the head. You can look up that far and down that far. For 360 as the arm, kind of go 360 if you move it out the other way of the wing. The wing can just do this. Very different from the Siege one. You can do a bunch of shit with the wings, open and close them. Bicep swivel goes full 360. Our elbows do a 90 degrees. A little bit more than 90 degrees. Like I said, no hands full swivel or no hand articulation, no waist articulation, no crunch in there either. If you lift this up, you can get more of a leg. You can get that much leg out, and you can push it that much far. Wow, I kind of aligned with the posing. You can't get that much. I thought you could. Jesus. 90 degrees for the knees. What? No. A little bit more if you unattach his little knee pad thing. Is like I said, there is a swivel, but it's attached to the more of the pelvis, kind of. Yeah, it's attached more to the pelvis and a good ankle to it. Kind of, I love this guy, but I kind of don't like how the articulation is less than this guy. And now let's get into his transformation.
Ready, Ted, let's do it.
Will we do the lyrics first, or will we do the music?
Let's do the lyrics, and then we can fit the tune around it.
Right, here we go.
Creatures from another planet. And these creepy creatures are spying on our world. And what are they looking for?
Spooky peeps, I seen those spooky peeps, hey, spooky peeps, I seen those spooky peeps.
I do have to say something. Just like I said about the paint, transform this guy. These two tabs are gonna lose almost all their paint.
Spin in the jungle, flip it on a squiggle tip. Everyone's on BMX is why you got.
I recommend just lightly putting your fingernail in between them and pulling them apart.
Dip the dope and stick your neck out. See me standing at the checkout in super value. This mic cord is a lasso, and don't invite a vampire into your crib, because if you do that, you might be struggling to live. And a mommy might be funny when you're watching on the telly, but if you try to run away from one, your legs will turn to jelly. Like do the funky gib and do the funky gib and watch out. It's late in the evening and I thought I heard a shout, but it was just the sound of my neighbors digging in the backyard, making vibrations in the earth, immersed in the turf like Bert from the trapdoor. Couldn't see his face, like his name was Dr. Claw. Raw like yes, y'all. Round here, gargantuan plants in the garden, Venus flytrapping them.
According to my interplanetary dictionary, these spacemen have come to Earth to find two typical Earth people to take back to their planet.
And here is his jet mode. I did figure one thing in that transformation. You gotta put these back on, and here we go. They simply just port on his wings. They also port on the back of his wings, and anywhere you see a port, they port. That you can stick these fucking things in, and make sure they're straight. And there we go. And woof. Oh. This is really fucking nice. Hot damn, moving my light closer. Whew, this jet mode is just the epitome of G1. Like, hot damn, that even looks like on the bottom of the G1 vehicle mode. Like, holy shit, look at this thing. That gray with the red and the blue, with an orange cockpit. Whew, god damn, look at this fucking thing. It's amazing. And for some reason, it's 10 times taller as well. What the fuck? What is this fucking Houdini shit? It's the front cockpit being really big. And as of course, I'll bring in Siege Starscream for comparability. Like I said, he gets smaller, but he gets bigger. With this, with this one, for some reason, there's a Skywarp and Thunder Crackle 2-pack out there, and for some reason they don't have this strap. I just wanted to mention that. Getting back to Siege Starscream, you can see they kept the gray and blue and the red. They got rid of this stupid battle damage stuff. Now I look at this, all the battle damage stuff just looks stupid. And this is a big improvement in some ways not. Less articularity is but I'll talk that more when I'm doing my outro. I did transform this guy a little bit. Jesus, you do want to put these down flat on the legs and put this on top of the legs. And now for his size comparability. G1 Bumblebee, NECA's Godzilla vs. King Kong. And here is NP10. And here is my next review, Earthrise Wheeljack. So as for my final thoughts, I like this guy more, but it's just that paint. You can even see it right here. The paint is chipping, and I don't like that. It's really bad. It really pisses me off when I see it. It's a very tiny spot. I do have the... I did have red marker there. It looked like it came off when I was transforming him, and that's the only big chip. And I do like this guy more better than him, mainly because he's a G1 version of Starscream, and I love Starscream, and I love the G1 version of Starscream. So it's mostly just your choice. It's purely your choice. If you like this guy more, keep him. If you don't like this guy, doesn't like guy, keep this guy. If you don't like this guy, get this guy and sell this guy on Mercury or your local toy store. That's as much I gotta say. See ya.
Now this is really a nicer sound.
Fucking drug shit. Yeah. Do the drug. Yeah. Yo. Straight from the desert Queens. Leave you sleeping on the mezzanine. Like you Lincoln and switch it to a desert scene. Often heard, but this motherfucker seldom seen. I'm throwing blows while you waiting for the bell to ring. Drug smoking, razors make the pasta sweet. Slumped over when the barrel in your pasture meat. Stay lean like some motherfucking ostrich meat. You full of shit, it's time to get a colonoscopy. Scissor kicks, dick suck from Miss Elizabeth. Lex Luger arms, 4 in the morning in the dark with the computer on.